Our next main topic in science will be living things and non-living things. So, living things are things that have life and non-living things are things that do not have life. And examples of living things are humans, plants, animals. All these have life, they grow, they reproduce, they feel, they move. But non-living things like your tables, your chairs, your cupboards and things in your house that don't have life. They neither grow nor they move or breathe. So let us see the difference between living things and non-living things. So living things are the living beings that are alive and composed of tiny particles, that is cells. So let it be humans, animals or plants, they have small particles called cells. So living things are living beings that are alive and composed of tiny particles, that is cells. Non-living things refer to those objects or items that do not exhibit any sign of life. So non-living things are those objects or items that do not exhibit any sign of life. A second is living things are highly organized, but non-living things don't have such kind of organization because they do not have life. The third main point in living things are they sense things and react to external stimulus. So for example, if we go near another animal, they tend to move away from us because they sense danger. So they sense some certain external stimulus. Again, if we see a snake, our immediate response will be to either hit it because it may cause harm, or a snake may move away on seeing a human because they may sense certain danger. Non-living things do not sense things. They do not sense things is because they do not have life. Living things maintain a steady internal environment to make cells function. So they maintain a steady internal environment because they have to maintain the function of the cells. Non-living things do not maintain a steady internal environment. The next is, so living things undergo a regulated growth. So we have seen the life cycle of a butterfly and then a frog. So all these undergo growth, a regulated growth, but non-living things do not grow. If a table is made, it remains the same size even after 10 years. If for example we take this pen, even after 10 years the pen remains the same, it does not grow. So it does not have a growth because it does not have life. They go through evolution. Evolution is changes. Non-living things do not undergo evolution. The next point is living things depend on water, food and air for survival. So they depend on food, water and air for survival. If you lock a person in a closed room or a cupboard, a person does not survive because there is no air to breathe. Non-living things on the other hand does not depend on anything for survival. The next point is they have a certain lifespan after which they die. Be it humans, plants or animals, they live only to a certain extent. So they have a lifespan. Each animal has a scheduled lifespan. Even humans, they have a specified lifespan. But non-living things do not have such lifespan. The next is they breathe. Living things breathe. Non-living things do not breathe. Living things move. Non-living things do not move. Living things reproduce. That is, they produce offspring. They get babies or they hatch eggs. Non-living things do not reproduce. So these are the differences between living and non-living things. So living things are composed of tiny particles, that is cells. Non-living things refer to objects or items that do not exhibit any sign of life. Living things are highly organized. Non-living things do not have such organization. They sense things and react to external stimulus. Non-living things do not sense things. Living things maintain a steady internal environment, and non-living things do not maintain a steady internal environment. They undergo a regulated growth. Non-living things do not grow. Living things go through evolution. Non-living things do not undergo evolution. They depend on water, food and air for survival. They do not depend on anything for survival. They have a certain lifespan after which they die. They do not have any such lifespan. Living things breathe. Non-living things do not breathe. Living things move. Non-living things do not move. And living things produce offspring, that is, they give birth or they lay eggs. Non-living things do not reproduce. The next important part of living things are the characteristics of living things. So there are certain characteristics of living things. So the first characteristic is your reproduction. So they reproduce, that is, give birth to babies or lay eggs. Reproduction. Next is, it is made up of one or more cells. So living things are made up of one or more cells. They respond to stimuli, that is, they sense danger, respond to stimuli. Evolution, they have evolution. The next is, living things have growth and development. So every stage there is growth and development. It requires energy. Living things require energy for its growth and survival. Next, it is organized. Living things are organized. And next is, they maintain homeostasis. So these are the characteristics of living things, that is, reproduction, made of one or more cells. They respond to stimuli. Evolution, growth and development, requires energy, organized and maintains homeostasis. So these are the differences between living and non-living things. And examples of the living things are we humans, animals and plants. And in every stage, be it human, animal or plant, they have different changes and development. So we have seen about the plants, its benefits that we acquire, and without plants we cannot survive, because plants provide us with the energy that we need to survive, and in turn we provide carbon dioxide for a plant to prepare its own food. And we've seen that the leaves are called the kitchen or food factory of the plant, because it prepares the food for the plant. So, and then we've moved on to the characteristics of living things and the differences between living and non-living things.